everyone, welcome to the Cook Note. This is Angel Girl, and today we're making chili with a side of cornbread. Well, we'll go ahead and get started. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. We're gonna go ahead and put the turkey in. I'm using 80-20 on the turkey. We're not going to use ground beef, mostly because we're trying to be a little bit more healthier on it. So I like to use this one mostly because it retains a lot of the flavors, and it gives you more, once it's done, it gives you more of an impression that it looks like ground beef than ground turkey. And so I love using this. And always make sure that your oil is ready. I like to use this one. We got this one on Amazon. It's super useful, especially for the ground turkey. We love using this. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and put in some seasonings. I have half a teaspoon, no, I think it's a teaspoon, yes, 1 teaspoon of the garlic salt. I'm gonna go ahead and put that in. Whoops. Okay, and this one is also 1 teaspoon of basil. I'm gonna be using basil for this one. And like I said, this is just for flavoring, for, you know, to aromatic, just so you can have something that we want it to smell nice. We want it to smell good, not only just for our smell, but also for our flavor, our scent, you know. So we're gonna continue doing that, smashing it. And then little by little we're gonna go ahead and start putting in some. This one is also a teaspoon of the seasonal, and again, this is just for like a little bit of a salt and a little bit of flavor, and just so we can also have a little bit of color on the meat. We don't want it to just be, you know, straight out, you know, taste like nothing, right? So we're gonna go ahead and put that in. And this time we decided to go a little bit different route other than the Italian route. We want to do something different, and we really hope that you like this recipe. So, all right, we're gonna go ahead and give it a few minutes. All right, so it's about 5 minutes that it's been cooking up. I went to go get my little top here, just so that I can let it cook a little bit better. If you're interested in this little handy tool, I'll go ahead and put a link to it down below. That way you guys can see, you know, how we use it. We usually, you know, twist it around, and always just make sure to separate it here. Make the big chunks a little bit smaller. And again, I got this one on Amazon, and it's very, very useful. We love using it here. Every time we have, you know, something to make with the ground turkey or anything, we always bring it out because it's really nice, really useful, and it always breaks down the big chunks. It's kind of like those like the frijol masher. So yeah, this one's really, really nice. As soon as I saw it, I fell in love with it because I was like, we need one of those. So yeah. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and start putting in some veggies, because of course we cannot go without any veggies in this recipe. Alright, so almost there. Okay, alright, I think it's good there. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and put in some celery. I think this is about a cup of celery. I'm gonna go ahead and put that in. And don't worry, we're gonna go ahead and put in some water in there too. That way it could get nicely cooked. That one was the green pepper, and I believe that was only a 1/4 cup. It wasn't very much. And then this one is the carrots. This is about 1/2 cup also. I'm gonna put that in, and it's basically the same type of carrots we did from our previous episode. This is the tricolor carrots, and then this is about also 1/2 cup of tomatoes. And we're gonna go ahead and hold on that. Make sure to mix in this over here. Okay. All right, I think it's mixed in really nicely. And then we're gonna go ahead and cover it for a little bit. But you know what, let me go ahead and put a little bit of water in that way it could get steamed up, and so the veggies can get soft and warm. Okay, mix it in. And then at this point, we're gonna go ahead and, so we can give the water and all of the veggies and everything all put together. This is just literally for the flavor of the chili. And this is the chicken bouillon. And this is about a tablespoon, 1 tablespoon of table bouillon. So we're gonna mix that in there. And this is just literally for, it's not really for any of the flavor, because the veggies are giving a lot of flavor. It's just so that we can get more flavor out of the chili, and so that the water can have flavor as well. And so it's not just for the meat, because the meat is already very nicely seasoned. You'll see at the end, it's all really nicely seasoned. It's just so that we can give more flavor to the veggies and the water itself. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and give it about 10 to 15 minutes, about 20 minutes, so that we can go ahead and let that steam down and get more color, get a little bit softer, and we'll come back to you guys. All right, so while we wait for the chili to get cooked, for the veggies to get soft, we're gonna go ahead and get started on the cornbread. So we're gonna go ahead and open this up. All right. And this one is already kind of like a pre-made type of thing. And really all it needs is just, I like to kind of take the little bumps off. That way it's a lot easier to mix, and you don't have to work too much with it. All right, so this is 1/2 cup of milk. Go ahead and put that in. Okay, so I use the almond milk for this recipe, and again, it's we want to try to do it a little bit more of a healthier option, right? So all right, so then we're gonna go ahead and get started on this. And so this recipe, I just kind of like picked it up out of, you know, watching a lot of YouTube. I'm obsessed with YouTube, honestly, but I just picked it up a little bit, you know, here and there from people making cornbread. And but I love using this ever since I saw it. I love using a little bit of honey on it, because it gives it a little bit of a sweeter taste, and it also it comes out so delicious, super good. And as you can tell, because we took off all those big bumps at the very beginning, it's already done. So we're gonna go ahead and put a little bit of honey in there. And I think the first time I made it, I asked my husband if he knew anything, if he noticed anything different. He's like, "Whoa, it's sweeter." I was like, "Yeah, I put honey in it." And you go ahead and just, you know, put a little bit, not a whole lot. I put about a tablespoon in there, and just kind of mix it in, make sure that it's mixed in. And so he loved it. He loves cornbread. So whenever I get the chance to make it for him, I love making it, putting a little bit of honey in there and just kind of whisk it all together. Make sure that it's mixed in really nicely. Okay, and so we use our little small pan, and again, we try to be a little bit careful, you know, not make a whole lot, and the little slices come out really small and really petite, really, like, it's really nice. So we want to you know, just whenever it's ready, I always grab maybe 1 or 2 little slices, you know, because we don't want to overdo it with the carbs, because we want to be healthier, right? So always try to, you know, cut back on a couple things, right? And then we put the oven for this one. We're gonna go ahead and put the oven at 400. Right now it's already heated. So come with me and we'll go ahead and put it in the oven. All right, so we still have the cornbread in the oven. All we did was we put in the mix cornbread, 1 egg, and half a cup of almond milk. And so right now at this point, it's been about 20 minutes with the chili here, and all of our veggies are already really soft and really tender. And so now we're going to go ahead and move on to our last steps. And this includes, like I said, this is half a cup of tomatoes. So we're gonna go ahead and put that in there. And so also mix it in a little. Okay. And then so that we can give the chili a little bit more of a color, and we're gonna go ahead and put the tomato sauce in there. And this also gives it a little bit of flavor, a little bit of tangy, and it also kind of helps to thicken it up. So we don't want it too watery, and we don't want it too thick. So this is gonna help it thicken up a little bit more and give it a little bit more flavor, more tanginess. And I want you guys to come and see what it looks like. All right, so as you can see, now it's looking a little bit more like chili. You can see there is a tomato sauce in there, all the goodness of all the veggies. And then we're gonna go ahead and lastly, we're gonna go ahead and add the beans. Honestly, I love putting in beans because it gives it also like a little bit more texture, and it also gives it more a little bit, it makes it look fuller and a lot more heartier. So this is why I love doing this. You can see that now it's definitely looking like chili. So we're gonna go ahead and give it about 10 more minutes so that we can get the beans done. And if you're a beginner cook, I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys what I did with the beans. I basically just froze them, but at this point I'll go ahead and show you guys what I did. And so I pretty much washed them, and then I put them into the slow cooker for about 4.5 hours. And then after a while they were ready and really already done, and all I did was I put them into a little container, and I froze them. So these are fresh beans, and so that they can last a lot longer and they won't go bad on me, I go ahead and put them in the freezer as well, and they look gorgeous. And also I put in some beef bouillon on it, so that gives it a lot more flavor, and it gives it a little bit of salt. So we're gonna go ahead and wait for about 10 minutes so that we can make sure that the beans get warmed up and everything. All right, so it's been about 10 minutes already, and this looks like it's definitely ready. And of course the cornbread is ready as well. If you wanted to give it more of a kick, I've also made it with jalapeno, with pickled jalapenos, and with a little bit of the juice of the pickled jalapenos in there, and it'll give you a really nice kick, and it's a perfect combination to have with the chili. And I really hope you guys like it, and we'll have more recipes for you guys on our coming soon. Make sure to subscribe and like the video, and we'll have more recipes for you guys soon. Thank you. Bye.